In this world, it's easy to get lost in the chaos, overwhelmed by the noise that surrounds us. But in order to navigate through this, to truly find our way, we must first understand the fundamental truths about ourselves. You see, life isn't a simple journey, and it's certainly not an easy one. We often look for purpose outside of ourselves, in people or external achievements. But the reality is we must first look inward. When we start to take responsibility for our own lives, for our own choices, that is where the power begins. You can't change the world if you're not capable of changing yourself. When you stand tall, shoulder the burdens of your existence, and confront the chaos head on, only then can you begin to build the life you truly want. Life is suffering, yes it is, but that's not a pessimistic view. That's an honest one. And it's within this suffering that you will find the strength to rise above it. You must ask yourself, what is it that I can do today, in this moment, to improve my situation? How can I make myself stronger, more capable? It's a commitment to meaning, to the things that are genuinely worthwhile. Life is fleeting, fragile, and there is no time to waste in despair or idleness. Find something that demands your attention, that demands your commitment, pour everything into it. Don't be afraid to take responsibility, for through responsibility comes purpose. And purpose is what anchors us in a world that might otherwise carry us away. Don't get trapped in the illusion of perfection, because that is nothing but an empty goal. Aim instead for progress. The pursuit of truth, the pursuit of becoming a better version of yourself every single day, that is the key to a life well lived. And as you grow, as you face the challenges that arise, know this, it is through those trials that your character will be forged. Take aim in your life, not out of desperation or without understanding, but with clarity and determination. You have the potential to shape yourself into the person you want to become. That potential has been within you, but it requires effort, discipline, and a willingness to face the darkness inside. Don't run from it. Embrace it, and you'll discover who you truly are. Your strength comes not from avoiding the difficult, but from meeting it with courage. There is no shortcut to wisdom, no easy path to fulfillment. But by holding yourself accountable, by constantly striving towards something meaningful, and by accepting the responsibility for your existence, you will unlock a purpose far greater than anything you could have imagined. That's how we find our strength, and it's the only way to live a life of true significance. Jordan Peterson's rise to prominence came as a result of his willingness to confront the complexities of life, offering an unflinching view of human existence. He didn't offer quick fixes or easy answers, but instead he asked us to look deeply within ourselves, to face the chaos of the world with clarity and resolve. At the heart of his message is the idea that meaning isn't something handed to us from the outside. It is something we must cultivate within, through responsibility and action. You see, meaning in life doesn't just appear. It is something that demands effort, attention, and commitment. It is created through the decisions we make, the responsibility we take for our own lives, and the courage we show in the face of hardship. Peterson emphasizes that life in its very essence is filled with challenges, suffering, and chaos. But the antidote to that is not avoidance, it's taking responsibility. Responsibility isn't a burden. It is the foundation upon which we build a meaningful existence. The act of claiming responsibility for our lives, our actions, and our choices allows us to transcend the difficulties we face, providing us with purpose and direction. This message of responsibility has resonated with millions worldwide. It's a call to step up, to stop blaming others, to stop seeking external validation, and to start taking control of the only thing we truly can ourselves. Peterson's work has inspired countless individuals to reassess their lives, to become more disciplined, to take ownership of their circumstances, and ultimately to seek meaning in places where they might have once seen only despair. Through his lectures, writings, and public appearances, he sparked a conversation about personal responsibility that transcends cultural and ideological divides. People from all walks of life, from different corners of the world, have found strength in his words, realizing that they too have the ability to change their trajectory. In the face of an often confusing and overwhelming world, Peterson's message has given individuals a framework to face the challenges ahead, to cultivate resilience, and to find a deeper sense of meaning that goes beyond superficial pursuits. The impact of his work speaks to a universal truth. It is through embracing responsibility and finding meaning in our lives that we find our true strength. It's not about escaping the chaos of the world, but about navigating it with a sense of purpose, clarity, and determination. That is what Peterson has offered to the world, and that is why his message continues to resonate so powerfully today. In life, we often find ourselves swept along by external forces, by the expectations of others, or by the pressures of society. But if we truly want to understand who we are and what we're capable of, we must first turn inward. Self-awareness and self-reflection are not just abstract concepts. They are the very foundation of personal growth and transformation. Without understanding ourselves, we are like a ship adrift at sea, lacking direction, purpose, and a clear course to follow. It is through self-awareness that we begin to recognize not only who we are, but also who we have the potential to become. We have strengths within us, strengths that, when properly identified and honed, can propel us towards success and fulfillment. But we also have weaknesses, and it is equally important to recognize those not as something to be ashamed of, but as areas for growth. Only through an honest and brutal assessment of ourselves can we begin to improve. We cannot change what we do not acknowledge, and we cannot build on what we do not recognize. This process is often uncomfortable. It requires us to face parts of ourselves that we might prefer to ignore. It requires us to confront our flaws, our fears, and our mistakes. But it is through accepting these parts of ourselves, not denying or avoiding them, that we gain the power to change. We must take responsibility for our choices, not just the ones that led us to success, but the ones that led us to failure. Responsibility isn't about blame, it's about owning our actions, our decisions, and our role in shaping our own lives. We cannot place the weight of our shortcomings on the shoulders of others, nor can we absolve ourselves of our responsibility by pointing to circumstances beyond our control. By taking ownership of our choices, we gain the freedom to change the direction of our lives. This freedom does not come without effort, but it is the only path to true empowerment. The more we understand ourselves, the more we recognize our potential, the more we accept responsibility for the choices we make, the more capable we become of creating the lives we truly want to live. It's in this deep self-awareness, this commitment to both acknowledging our strengths and confronting our weaknesses, that we find the power to move forward, to grow, and to ultimately shape our own destiny. In the course of our lives, there comes a moment when we realize that simply existing isn't enough. We crave something deeper, something more meaningful. It's not just about passing time or achieving external success. It's about finding a purpose, something that brings clarity to our actions, something that drives us with passion and conviction. The key to unlocking that purpose lies in defining our values and passions. What truly matters to us? What do we care about at the deepest level? Our values act as the compass, guiding us through life, while our passions fuel the journey, giving us the energy and enthusiasm to pursue something greater than ourselves. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of the world, by what others expect of us, but true fulfillment comes when we align ourselves with our core beliefs and interests. When we can pinpoint those values that resonate with us at the very core, we start to see a path unfold before us, one that is authentic and meaningful. Once we define those values, it becomes clear that we must set meaningful goals that are not only achievable, but also aligned with the person we want to become. It's not enough to chase after goals for the sake of status, recognition, or material gain. We must aim for something that elevates us, that stretches us beyond our comfort zone, that brings us closer to who we truly are. These goals, when set with intention, become the milestones that help us navigate our journey. They serve as a constant reminder of where we're going and why we're going there. But the journey of self-discovery doesn't happen overnight. It's a continuous process, one that involves growth, struggle, and reflection. As we pursue our goals, we learn more about ourselves, our capacities, and our limitations. The challenges we face along the way are not obstacles to avoid, but opportunities to refine ourselves. Each step we take, whether forward or backward, is a step toward understanding what truly matters and how we can integrate that understanding into our daily lives. Finding our purpose is not a single moment of revelation, but a lifelong process of becoming more attuned to who we are, what we value, and how we want to impact the world around us. It is through this journey of self-discovery, where we define our passions, set meaningful goals, and align our actions with our values, that we find a purpose that truly resonates with our deepest aspirations. And in this pursuit, we uncover a life that is rich with meaning, not because it's perfect, but because it's lived with intention and heart. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. No one is exempt from hardship, no matter their background or circumstances. Yet it is not adversity itself that defines us, but how we respond to it. The key to rising above our difficulties lies in our ability to build resilience. Resilience is not a trait we are born with. It is something we develop over time through the challenges we face and the ways in which we choose to confront them. Hardship, while painful and difficult, is also a powerful teacher. It shows us our limits and forces us to expand them. It's through these trials that we discover our strength and learn what we're truly capable of. When faced with challenges, it's easy to fall into the trap of viewing them as insurmountable obstacles. But if we shift our perspective, we can see these challenges for what they really are, opportunities for growth. Every difficulty, every setback is a chance to learn, adapt, and emerge stronger. The key is not to avoid these challenges, but to embrace them. It's through the struggle that we refine our character, develop our resilience, and shape ourselves into the individuals we are meant to become. It's not the absence of hardship that leads to greatness, but the courage to face it head on with determination and purpose. To endure and thrive through adversity, we must cultivate the power of self-discipline and willpower. Self-discipline is what keeps us moving forward when the path is unclear, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. It is the ability to stay focused on the long-term goals, even when short-term rewards seem distant or elusive. Willpower is the fuel that propels us through difficult times, giving us the strength to persist when everything within us urges us to quit. Together, self-discipline and willpower allow us to rise above our circumstances, to take control of our own destiny, and to remain steadfast in the face of hardship. Adversity will always be a part of life, but it is not something we need to fear. It is through overcoming adversity that we discover our true potential. By building resilience, embracing challenges, and harnessing the power of self-discipline and willpower, we transform ourselves. We become stronger, more capable, and more prepared to face whatever comes our way. And in the process, we realize that it is not the adversity that shapes us, but the way we respond to it. To live a meaningful life is to embark on a journey that goes far beyond simply existing from one moment to the next. It is about striving for a life filled with purpose, where each day holds significance, where our actions and decisions are guided by something deeper than the mere pursuit of comfort or pleasure. The pursuit of a life of purpose and fulfillment is a calling, not an easy one, but one that, when embraced, offers us a deep sense of satisfaction and direction. A life of purpose doesn't happen by chance. It requires intentionality, clarity, and commitment. We must ask ourselves, what is it that truly matters to us? What can we give of ourselves that will make a difference in the world around us? It is in seeking to answer these questions that we begin to shape our lives into something more meaningful. The pursuit of purpose requires effort and discipline, but it is within that pursuit that we find our true strength and potential. We begin to understand that fulfillment doesn't come from chasing fleeting pleasures, but from dedicating ourselves to a cause, a vision, or a set of values that resonate deeply within us. Living a meaningful life also involves contributing to something larger than ourselves. We are not isolated beings, but part of a vast, interconnected world. Our actions, no matter how small, ripple out and impact others in ways we may never fully understand. When we shift our focus from only our own desires and needs to the well-being of others, we begin to experience a different kind of satisfaction, one that is rooted in the knowledge that we are part of something greater. Contributing to something larger than ourselves provides us with a sense of belonging and significance that no material possession or personal achievement ever could. The ultimate reward of living a meaningful life is the positive impact we leave on the world. Each of us has the ability to shape our environment, to influence others, and to create change. It doesn't matter how grand or small the gesture may seem, every positive action contributes to a greater good. It is through these actions, through the way we live, the way we treat others, and the way we engage with the world that we leave behind a legacy. The impact we make can echo far beyond our time, creating a world that is better, kinder, and more thoughtful because of our contributions. In the end, a meaningful life is one where purpose, fulfillment, and impact intertwine. It is a life that is not only lived for ourselves, but for others and for the world around us. It is the courage to pursue something greater, the wisdom to contribute to the collective, and the commitment to leave behind something lasting. By living in this way, we do not merely exist, we make a difference. And that difference gives our lives meaning.